Listen, if you feel like your life has no purpose, no meaning, that you're just floating around going with the flow in life, and that you have no purpose, I'm going to be blunt with you. It's because you're absolutely right. Chapter 11 of The Way of the Superior Man. If you don't know your purpose, discover it now. Because without a conscious life purpose, a man is totally lost, drifting, adapting to events rather than creating them. Without knowing his life purpose, a man is weakened, living an impotent existence. Okay, click off this video. I just hurt your feelings. Your life is meaningless. Yeah, sure, whatever. This video has no captions, no fancy cuts or edits. If you want dopamine, go watch Mr. Beast. Click off this video right now. But if you're here because you want to change your life, I'm here for you. So first off, let's define purpose, because in today's day and age, it's all skewed, right? We have a crisis on purpose. We don't know our purpose. We don't know what we want to do or be or why we're here. It's common. No one knows. And you could argue that it takes a lifetime to figure out, but that wasn't the case a few hundred years ago. So first of all, let's define purpose. If you were to ask someone today in 2024, how would they define purpose? Well, my guess is, I'm here, so I don't have to guess. Well, it's to be happy. My purpose is to be happy, to be fulfilled, to live a comfortable life where I don't need to worry about anything. I'm safe, secure, healthy, right? And why do I work so hard? Well, I'm just working hard for myself. I'm working hard to be 1% better every day, right? We're in a community. We're all in this together. We're a family. Like, let's go. Like, let's make the world a better place. That's what I'd say, right? That's an intelligent answer, you'd say. Well, if you were to go back 100, 200 years ago and ask a man who was fighting in wars, who was working back-breaking like labor jobs, and you were to ask him, look him in the eyes, why do you work so hard? First of all, you shake his hand and he'd freaking crush your hand, right? But you were to ask him, why do you work so hard? What is your purpose? He wouldn't say, I'm trying to get 1% better every day. He wouldn't say, I'm just focusing on myself, king. You know what he'd say? You know what he'd say? He'd say, I'm doing this for my family. I have mouths to feed. Children, wife, people on his back. He's not doing it for himself. So let's just establish this quick right now. Your purpose is not something you have to be passionate about. Your purpose is not something that you have to love. Your purpose is love. And what is love? Love is a sacrifice. Love is sacrifice. Take Jesus, for example. Whether you're Christian or not, don't really care. Look at his story. Jesus had a purpose, and that was die on the cross for what he believed in, for what everyone believed. Do you think he wanted to die on the cross? Who wants to get crucified? Who? No one. But he did it anyway. He wasn't passionate. He wasn't loving what he did. It was his purpose. What did he do for his purpose? He died for it. Especially if you're a Christian and you're being called to be more Christ-like. Love means sacrifice. And purpose is out of love, not out of selfish ambition. It's not a purpose if you're doing it for yourself, really. Like, okay, sure, you could say like, but it's more like, it's just a self-improvement. It's like a habit. What separates a hobby, a habit, a job, a goal, a milestone from purpose? Purpose is about others. It's about serving. It's not about you. Yet we confuse that every single time. And in today's day and age with social media, porn, drugs, video games, whatever it may be, we can drown ourselves in instant gratification and pleasure, pretending it is our purpose, feeling like we are achieving our purpose, when really it's just a distraction from a deep emptiness, a deep sense of a lack of something that we don't know why we can't fulfill. Well, I'm here to tell you today that it's a lack of purpose. So now that we know what purpose is, that it's love, it's a sacrifice, and it's not about you, but about serving others, how do we go about finding this purpose? Now you're asking the really intelligent questions. And how do we separate the difference between purpose and like a goal or ambition or whatever, right? Perfect. So, your purpose. There's so many ways you could go about it. Lean just beyond your edge. Play with insecurity. Play with uncertainty. Play with your doubts. What do you want? What pain do you want to take away from the world? What fears do you have about the world? What do you hate about the world? You can start there, or you could start with a pen and a piece of paper. Or even then, you know what? I think if there's one antidote for this pandemic of a lack of purpose, if you will, it's solitude and boredom. Boredom, that's it. Boredom. Men back then, people, humanity back then, did not have constant distraction devices like this. You can imagine people back then, park benches exist for a reason, but no one sits in them. Like, you would sit in park benches, out in nature, go on hikes, and just sit back in your chair and like, just think about life. Think about what you want to achieve. And in that boredom is when the greatest ideas strike you. In boredom is when inspiration strikes you. And we have a lack of that today, don't we? Like, it's scary to be bored. It's almost wrong. It's weird to be bored. Even you right now, you're being entertained even slightly by this unedited video. Like, you're afraid to be bored, and that is why you will never find your purpose. Because it has to be earned. It's deep in you. So, how does purpose work? I'll take you through that. Imagine let's say, this dot is your core purpose. This is the reason why you exist. This is why you're here, what you'd be willing to sacrifice everything for. Okay, when you're a kid, when you're first born, this is very clear to you. That's what I believe, at least. This is very clear to you. But as you grow older, you have to get good grades, by the way. That's one layer put around like your purpose. And then as you grow older, more responsibility. Oh, you have to do this. Oh, you have to look into jobs. Oh, you have to make money. Oh, you have to be a man. You have to, whatever. More and more and more layers just get wrapped around this thing until before you know it, it's all covered with different layers of different things you need to pursue, different things you need to get done, authentic and inauthentic desires. I need that new car. I need that designer clothing, whatever it may be. And you cover your core purpose. And how you find it is not just through solitude, but once you find, like, think of an onion. Imagine this is like an onion. And every single time you peel back a layer, you get slightly closer to the truth, but it's still tons of layers on top of it, right? So you have to peel back every single layer until you get to the truth. And this might take a lifetime for most people, but at least you can take a lifetime to do it when most people don't even know this exists. So what you have to do is find the surface layer of your purpose. That might even be something as simple as graduating high school, getting good grades, getting a good job. Boom, one layer done. And through that peeling of the first layer, you find that you become a different person, a more refined version of yourself, a better version of yourself, who not only peeled this layer back, but is ready to handle the next layer. And you become, it's like stepping stones where you become a different person every layer. And you don't have to finish the goal or task to peel back the layer. It's just a process of going for it, right? Like YouTube right now is one of my purpose layers. I might not hit 100,000 subscribers, and that's when I peel back the layer. It might be tomorrow. I feel like I'm done with YouTube. It's so childish. Like, and another goal comes around, and I see like a deeper layer of purpose to get to. And then before I know it, when I'm 90 or maybe 50 or however long it takes, it really doesn't matter. You will find your core purpose, and it's something like self-transcendence or finding the truth about the universe or anything. I don't know. I'm 17, bro. I don't know. But whatever it is, you owe it to yourself to find that purpose. Because without it, what was the point of you even being here and watching this video, spending the last 8 minutes and 57 seconds of your life just listening to me yap, right? Actually use this to change your life. And I know this is like kind of advanced for most people. Like, even me, I'm barely grasping this concept. But the fact that you're here proves to yourself that you're ready, right? You know it's a thing now. You have no excuse that your purpose is waiting for you. And to do that, to find your first layer even, spend time in solitude, journal. What are your goals? What do you even want to do? And don't judge. Don't judge whatever you journal. Last thing you want to do is judge it. Because when you can just write freely, you'll find that things you don't even remember, little things you're feeling in your head just come out, and you can see it for what it is. See it for what it is. What do you want to do? What are you afraid of? What have you been hiding from yourself? Etc. And once you do find your purpose, everything in your life, from your diet to your career, must be aligned to it. Because your purpose is the reason for why you're here. And I'm not saying just like your core purpose, but even the layers, the surface layers, right? Yesterday, I woke up 5 a.m. before school to make videos because I knew after school I'm going to be tired as hell. But before school, I'll have energy. Before school, I'll be able to speak with conviction. Before school, I'll be able to speak from my heart. And that's a sacrifice I made. Just a little sacrifice. And it's not the meaning of my life. Of course, YouTube's not the meaning of my life, but it is a purpose, a layer of my purpose. So I will sacrifice everything for it. The superior man is not seeking fulfillment through his work or woman because he is already full. For him, work and intimacy are opportunities to give his gifts and to be vanished in the bliss of giving. So your purpose, once again, it's a sacrifice. It's out of love. It's not for love. It's not for something external. It is out of love. Out of love for the world, for yourself. We are meant to give. We are living to give, to love, to sacrifice. And ultimately, that is what brings us fulfillment. To take gives us joy, happiness, maybe. To give gives us fulfillment. To take is temporary. You take, you enjoy, you eat junk food, you play video games, you watch porn. Sure, you feel good in the moment, but you give, you buy a gift for someone. You give someone a compliment. You have a long conversation listening to someone's problems and giving them advice. You do something for someone. Write them a gratitude letter. You feel awesome as well. But it's more of a steady climb, and it stays with you. That is what we call fulfillment. It's a wholeness rather than an emptiness you're trying to fill. It's a wholeness that you're giving to someone else. Does that make sense? So yeah, be willing to change everything in your life and align it to your purpose. Otherwise, what was the point of it all? I'll end with one excerpt from chapter 12. A man must be prepared to give 100% to his purpose. Fulfill his karma or dissolve it. Don't know what that means. And let go of that specific form of living. Don't know what that means. But he must be capable of not knowing what to do with his life. Be intimate with the uncertainty. Entering a period of unknowingness and waiting for a vision or a new form of purpose to emerge. So if you don't know your purpose, feel that uncertainty. Acknowledge it. Don't run from it. Don't disguise it with whatever you do, whatever coping mechanism you have, like distracting yourself. If you don't know your purpose, discover it now. Discover it now. Because one day you'll find that even when you do have a purpose, right? You'll grow through it. You'll face challenges. You'll grow into a new person. And when you conquer that purpose, you'll have another phase where you're uncertain about what your next purpose is. And it's just the cyclical nature of living life where you have a purpose, you dedicate everything to it, and then you don't know what's next. So if you're afraid of the uncertainty, you're going to have to face it over and over and over. So you might as well make it your friend. That's my message to you today. If you want to stay on the right side of YouTube, subscribe. It's a win-win for both of us. You don't have to, but it's a win-win for both of us, and that's the fact. Get after it.